Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we have the Gloommaw Primal coming in just 9 hours from right now at the upcoming reset. And we're going to show you the top teams currently on the VN server. They're all going to be using the Graveborn faction Faramor, which is going to be the Grim Executioner. So make sure you level up your Grim Executioner Faramor, ideally all the way up to level 90 for maximum effectiveness in this Primal. It will be very important. But the good thing is Grim Executioner is also a Faramor you'll be using in your PvP teams, so it won't be a complete waste by having him leveled up. Okay, so let's go ahead and go right for the good stuff, which is the top team. This is the current best team found on the VN server. It is using 3 great Graveborn heroes, especially for endless level of bosses, the true damage output from Velka, the HP loss damage from Ludovic, and then also Damon somehow deals massive damage in this Primal Lord and also shields your allies. And shielding is essential in this Primal Lord because if you don't have a way of shielding every ally on your team, they're going to reach those 100 maximum dread stacks, and eventually 10 seconds later they are going to be eaten by the boss and instantly defeated, removed from the match. And so that is why shielding is important, and basically every hero here is going to have a way of shielding themselves to cleanse that dread effect. So you're going to have the twins here, Pink Twin on the right, Blue Twin on the left, Damon and Ludovic on the Stellar Bond, Grim Executioner in front of Damon, Velka over here to be buffing up the attack speed of basically everyone, and then Baelran as well. Now for this team, ideally you'll want to have Supreme plus Baelran. However, even if you have him at Mythic plus, it should be enough to use him. If you have Baelran built, if you have Velka at Supreme Plus for a skill upgrade, you're going to be doing very well with this team. The other thing is that Velka actually isn't the top damage contributor for this Primal Lord. And so even if your Velka is not Supreme Plus yet, you don't have her skill upgrade, you can still potentially use her because she's still going to shield herself, provide that useful attack speed for other allies. And so like really you can make use of this team even if your Velka is not Supreme Plus. But of course you want to have Baelran built if you want to run this team, and it is with the Star Bless spell. So this is the top team, and it should be the top team on day 1 of Global as well. However, maybe some other team will be found later in the day, and I'll update you guys if one is. Now, if you do not have Baelran, now is kind of an issue. You're gonna have to use an alternative. So the alternative which has been tested on the VN server has been Faramor, because Faramor also shields himself. He does pretty good damage for Endless Dream Realm, and then also he can further buff up the attack of Ludovic, who is a great HP loss damage dealer, to deal damage to this Primal Lord. So this is basically going to be a very similar team comp. Pink Turn on the right, Blue Turn on the left, Damon and Ludovic again on the Stellar Bond, but now Faramor in front of Ludovic and Velka off to the left in front of the Blue Twin. So this one, and this is also with the Blood Moon spell. Now, there will also be more testing that happens definitely on global server. However, this is definitely a good option which has been tested on the VN server. It will not come really close to the damage output of Baelran, but for a no Baelran team, this is the best which has been found so far. However, there are other heroes I have in mind here rather than Faramor. One is really Shemira, because Shemira can also shield herself with her ghost. It can actually proc shields onto yourself if you've noticed, like, you know, Shemira soloing enemies at the end of a stage, she will have some self-shielding, and that can get rid of those dread stacks. So I do think there's a potential of maybe even using Shemira rather than Faramor. I don't know which is better. Definitely it seems like Faramor is better right now, and this one is just a tried and tested team. But basically, other heroes you want to keep your eyes out on are Shemira, even Hugin, especially with its charm quality bonus, boosting the range damage of a hero. That doesn't help for HP loss damage, unfortunately. So like Hugin, that boosted of basically range damage, that is only for heroes who have true damage or regular damage. If their major damage is HP loss like Ludovic, having Hugin charms onto him are not going to benefit him. Just one thing to keep in mind. But Hugin shields. He provides attack buff when he shields allies. So Hugin's another hero which is pretty interesting. Definitely Shemira, like we said, Faramor as you see here, and then of course Baelran. These are going to be some solid heroes that you can run. Okay, now we have another team. So this is a team which I've kind of put together. For example, let's say you don't have Velka, you don't have Baelran, then I wanted to come up with a team, like I said, that might also do the job. Now, this is not being tested yet, so do take that with so basically take this team with a grain of salt. We'll be testing it basically tomorrow and onwards, but logically speaking, this team should make sense and it should work because Shamir has self-shielding, Faramor has self-shielding, Damon will shield the Ludovic, even the twins will provide a bit of shielding to allies. So overall, everyone should be shielded and get rid of that dread effect, and that is really important for this boss. And then you just have high, like Shamira does pretty good damage, Damon does really good damage, Ludovic does good HP loss damage, and Faramor also adding on top with the damage. And Blood Moonspell just kind of sustains the team with that life drain, and I guess that's why it's one of the recommendation, especially if you have multiple like top performing damage dealers. But really, it does seem like Blood Moon or Starbless are the top artifacts. Even better than those Aerostorm, which is kind of interesting because on early days of VN server testing, a lot of people were using Aerostorm, assuming it would be the best. But now when the teams have become more refined, you're seeing that as Starblast or Blood Moon, which are actually doing the best. So these are the teams basically from VN server, and then one of my own creation here, which is going to be, this is a testing team, needs to be tested. But yeah, if you want to think of other options, heroes like Hugin, heroes who provide shielding or do really good damage like Shamira, these are heroes which are going to also do well in this Primal Lord. But of course, I'm excited for this to actually launch on global server. I'm sure within the first day, there's going to be a lot of testing which happens and probably new teams may be found, and then I will update you with those. But definitely, if you have Baelran, if you have Velka, like, you cannot go wrong with this team. This team is so solid, and I find it hard to believe there will be an upgrade, and even if it is, it might just be a positioning change for some slight difference. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Of course, it is very important with your Phantom, your Grim Executioner Phantom, get it to level 90. That is important. And the reason this is so strong is it causes HP loss damage with the Spirit Mark effect, and that is really good for Primal Lord boss content. I'm expecting he is probably going to be a Graveborn faction even for the third Primal Lord of the season, unless something major changes or some different mechanics of the boss. The other thing is equipment. So if you have these equipment chests, I've actually saved them because I'm planning to use them for the Primal Lord just to min-max my damage a bit more. And so when it comes to the Primal Lord, the top damage dealers are actually going to be Ludovic, they're going to be Damon, they're going to be Baelran. And that's a bit of an issue because you have basically 3 different classes to work with: supports, tanks, and also warrior. However, if you wanted to min-max your score, you want to have attack on your Damon to boost his damage, you want to have attack on Ludovic, support to boost his damage. So like getting an attack, a weapon is the best value you can do for attack. So like getting a high level weapon of support, high level weapon of tank, and then warrior, he just wants health because Baelran scales off of his health more so than really his attack. And so like getting him this chest plate, a high level chest plate, those would probably be the best 3 investments. But if you're using like a Shamir in there, you're not using Baelran, then try to get mage. Anyway, over time, we're going to max out the equipment. If you are pushing your levels and using instant AFK attempts, you may reach level 900, the cap, before the end of the Primal Lord. Otherwise, even if you don't, you'll make it up to like 870 or somewhere pretty high up as well, and then you can just craft equipment for that level. But anyway, guys, that's it for the tips. If you have any other tips, feel free to share them in the comment section down below. That is much appreciated, and I hope you guys are excited for this Primal Lord. I'm always excited for Primal Lords as well, and also finding new meta teams. But thanks for watching. If you're not already a member of my AFK Journey Discord server, please join that. There is a link to that in the description of this video. Also, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Firelight store. There is a link to that in the description of this video and a pinned comment. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.